Hi, girls. I'm a health and fitness coach for women in menopause, and I am a host of this Inspire show. And as you know, I always bring guests who can inspire you in some way. Uh, Today here we I have uh, or Gail Lynn. uh, She's author and filmmaker. Hi, Lynn.
Hi, how are you, Stella? So happy to be here with you.
Thank you. I'm fine. Uh, where are you?
I am in Denver, Colorado.
Yeah, I'm in Hungary, in Europe.
I know. Oh my gosh, like I have a view in the mountains. I've never been to Hungary. I've been to a lot of European countries, but not to Hungary. So it's is it beautiful there?
Yes, Budapest is beautiful, and we have some wellness places. Nice. Yeah, yeah.
How fun.
Um, Lynn, can you tell me your story? You are author and filmmaker. Can you tell me a few words about it?
Absolutely. I was born in Michigan in the United States, and so I automatically was in the automotive business and engineering, and I knew that there was more to life than automotive. So I ended up moving to Texas and I got involved with telecommunications. And again, I knew there was more to life than telecommunications and automotive. So I ended up moving to California and I got into Hollywood and became, by, I guess, by default, a filmmaker because my boyfriend at the time was Elvis Presley's stepbrother. Of course,
Wow.
everybody knows who Elvis is, and I didn't even believe him. I thought he was lying because who knows Elvis Presley? Nobody. It's like you know Mickey Mouse. It's a character. It's somebody that you don't know. And so he wanted to make a film about his life with Elvis. And so I said, okay, well, I'll help you. And so I became a filmmaker. But I just recently produced and launched my own film for completely other reasons. I wanted to put out a film in these times right now, especially with our USA election coming up. I feel like a lot of people are going to go to a place of hate, and we already have enough hate in the world. So I wanted to put out a film that challenged people to do more things with love, do more things with kindness. And it's also about sound and light therapy because my invention is the harmonic egg, which is a sound and light healing chamber. So it's mostly about let's have more community, let's have more love, let's have more kindness. So I feel like my life has been interesting from engineering to telecom to Hollywood. And now the universe has presented me with this opportunity to be an influencer and and then I know how to make a film. I can engineer a large wooden egg and I can do international business like I did with telecommunications. So it's culminated and really been an interesting journey. But as you know, and as you've discussed in some of your podcasts, life is a journey. It's not about the destination, but the journey.
Yes. Yes, it is. Which was your challenges in your life? What was hard, or how did you overcome it?
So it's really funny, but not funny. You know, my mom she had gotten pregnant with another man's child, not, and it wasn't my dad's, I wasn't my dad's child. So right from the beginning, she held me in the womb for 9 months with this probably shame and guilt that she knew that I wasn't my dad's daughter, but she told my dad, "Oh, this is your daughter," because the other gentleman had told her, he didn't want to have children and she was pregnant with me. So my journey started out as a challenge. But we all choose that journey. I chose my mom to be with, and I chose to have that experience. So I feel like life was starting out with a challenge, and I was born under a Scorpio moon. So I feel like I was up for the challenge. I'm I was excited for the challenge. I'm not sure that mm, I'm not sure how much of that challenge I should have been so excited about. But it's exciting, but it has been very hard, but fun. And so I've been divorced twice. Um, when I was age 14, I was molested by the priest of the Catholic Church. My second husband left me while we were on a trip in Peru and just said, I want a divorce. And I fell in love with the assistant tour guide. Um, so it's fun. Now I can tell the story, but it's not my story anymore. It's how I help other people learn how to cope and how to get through challenges because I've been through it. And you stay in a place of gratitude and you stay in a place of love, and you can get through almost anything.
Yes. And we can learn from challenges because that is the purpose, I think, of challenges, that we can overcome it and we can see differently later on it. We can laugh on it sometimes, and
I laugh all
yes,
the time
we
about
can
it.
learn
It's
from it.
funny. Yeah.
Yes.
And so, I'm 54 now, and I wanted to, talk to you and inspire your audience to realize that, life begins with menopause. Life begins at this time. I am having the best life ever, and I wouldn't change anything. I don't want to go back and be 21 or 30 or 40 because the wisdom that I've obtained now, and life flows so much easier because I know what I know. I still don't know a lot, and that's okay. But I feel like when I was younger, I had a very nice belly. It was concave. Now it's convex, little bit. And for a long time, I was hiding it because I thought, oh my gosh, I have a little belly. This is terrible. And I've learned to love my body and love the aging process and really just um, the whole experience is like a rebirth. I think these are the best years of my life. And I just wanted to inspire your audience to share that information so that they know that menopause isn't bad. I guess everything's relative. What is bad? What is good? And I find, I have the low libido like a lot of women have. And so I've been working with that. I have hot flashes, but the amount of stress that I'm under building a multi-million dollar international business with 150 center owners, there's going to be stress. And so
Hmm.
I have to learn to manage the stress. I have a good diet. I do exercise. I do the harmonic egg sessions, but I still have hot flashes and I still have the low libido. I've done the Dutch test. You might know about the Dutch test
No,
where
what is it?
you can, oh yeah, DutchTest.com. It's a urine challenge. So you get these little pads to pee on, and you pee on them in the morning, the afternoon, the early evening, late evening, and then if you get up in the night. So it can give you a good sampling of what your hormones are doing throughout the
Hmm.
day.
Hmm.
Mine are completely balanced. The doctors can't even believe it. Then I did a microbiome test, and you know about the microbiome test. And my microbiome is completely balanced. And I don't take probiotics. I eat well. I stay in a place of love and gratitude. And so I know that it's just stress. Stress is the
Hmm.
number one killer. And so
Yes.
I'm learning in my menopause years how to get the stress under
manage.
control. Yeah. And so that's my
And how you
challenge.
manage your stress? What is your method?
That's a great question. I have a horse, and so I go out to the barn and I love on my horse. And I
Mhm.
just obtained two little kittens that came into my barn. And so that is really helpful to ground. I do meditate and do exercise. I think your program is about 17 minutes a day. I usually do 10 to
Yes.
15 minutes a day. Yep. And I don't think you have to work out all day to be in shape. I feel like I'm in great shape. I feel very toned. Um, it's just that I think when your autonomic nervous system is in balance, the body can heal and the body can stay toned because we didn't have 24-hour fitness back in the 1920s or 30s, but people left their home to work in the farm, to garden, to,
Hmm.
they didn't just sit behind a computer all day. So
Yes.
we must learn that we have to keep the stress in check. We have to keep our nervous system in balance, and diet is important. Do I eat fatty foods? Do I eat fried foods? Absolutely. Life is too short. Um, and there's certain foods now that I can't eat anymore since menopause, like refined sugar. But that's a
I don't want
blessing.
to eat it. I can, but I don't want.
No, yeah, I don't want it anymore after how it makes me feel. And I
Hmm.
realize how toxic it is. So
Yes.
I'm loving life. I'll have a little square of dark chocolate every day.
Me too. Just a little.
Yeah, just a little, right?
And it's in many tastes. It's with orange or with salt. Also, I have one Lindt. It's a Switzerland from Switzerland chocolate. Lindt. Did you hear? Yeah, and with salt,
Mint.
and
Yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
delicious. I didn't know. And with mango, with almond, and it's we can choose, and it's a very little sugar in it because it's a dark chocolate. Yeah.
yeah. I love it. And I mean, over there in Europe, you guys have better food. You have better food choices. Your food is healthier than the United States, which is very sad. When I go to Europe, and I've been to France and Switzerland and Germany and England, I've been all over, and Spain, and I don't ever get sick. I don't get gassy. I don't get a bellyache. But in the United States, very often eating out, I do get a bellyache and gassy.
Really?
And not in Europe. Yeah, the food in Europe is beautiful.
Yes, I heard that there is a the food is not so good. It's
Yeah, I mostly cook for myself, or my boyfriend cooks for us. And so we buy organic and we grow. I have a hydroponic garden, microgreens.
mm,
In the summertime, I have a garden
mm,
because a lot of us are heavy metal toxic. So we have a lot of
mm.
heavy metals in our body. And so dark leafy greens, like I grow arugula, which I think you know as rocket lettuce. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes. And if your listeners out there have only eaten arugula from the grocery store, you don't know what arugula tastes like. Arugula is spicy. It almost burns your mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And when you buy it at the grocery store, no, it's just plain. It doesn't burn. And so I grow it in my garden and I just pick
Mm-hmm.
from it because dark leafy greens will bind to heavy metals and pull them out of your body.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of cilantro and kale and just dark leafy greens. So we really need to stay detoxed in order to be healthy as well.
Yes, and with food, not with some supplement or some drinks or something. We just need to eat uh, whole foods, and just I don't buy. I don't eat processed foods. I just eat what I made.
Yeah.
usually. Yeah.
And there is a definite uh, epidemic about over supplementing these days. I
Yes.
think there's supplement abuse, there's emotional abuse, there's physical abuse, there's supplement abuse. And people are buying so many supplements, and I don't believe the body can process or recognize these supplements. They are processed, so it is a
Yes.
processed food, and there's a lot of fillers in them. There's a lot of heavy metals in the capsules. And so I am guilty that about 20 years ago, I was taking 16, 20 supplements a day, and I was very sick, very sick. And I don't take any supplements now. I eat, wild foods and whole foods and natural foods, and I feel better than I've ever felt in my entire life.
Yes, because people think that they don't change anything. They eat the same way. They don't move, and they think if they taking these supplements, they will be better. But no, it's everything starting with ourselves. To we have to change our lifestyle to be healthier, not waiting it from some supplements or anything else. But people don't like to change. They like to stay in their comfort zone. And I
Well, I don't
think
know how it
these,
is in Hungary. In the United States, people want to take a magic pill and have everything go away. So they have high blood pressure, pop a magic pill, your blood pressure goes down. But they don't consider what is the root cause,
mhm,
which could be just water, just hydration, and that could be increasing their blood pressure. But instead, they take this pill, which has side effects, which then depletes nutrients from their body. So some of our blood pressure pills will deplete CoQ10 in the body. Now,
mhm,
CoQ10 is what we need to naturally regulate our blood pressure, but these blood pressure pills are depleting that actual thing from our body. So that's what people don't understand. A lot of these medicines are depleting magnesium, zinc, calcium, and those are things that our cells need. We need sodium and magnesium and calcium and potassium for electrolytes to help our cells. And then these meds are depleting those minerals. So people are getting sicker and sicker, and it's just so sad.
yes. And with also with cholesterol, uh, uh, cholesterol. Do you understand? No?
Cholesterol?
Cholesterol, yeah,
Cholesterol? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
cholesterol. They are taking statins for that, and it's also it's making just so much problem after with time because we need cholesterol.
Yeah, my
It's in
cholesterol is
our
like
cells. It's
160. Yeah. My cholesterol is, I think, 160, and I think that's great. I feel amazing, but people are getting their cholesterol under 100, and that's very dangerous. There's a book called The Cholesterol Myth that's very good to explain from a medical doctor how cholesterol is needed for the brain and for the body. So yeah,
yes,
we need to educate ourselves better on what our body
yes,
needs, and then there's emotional trauma. There's a lot of emotionally activated illnesses now. Herpes is one, Epstein-Barr. After a year or two of stress and emotional trauma and maybe emotional abuse, Lyme disease, Epstein-Barr virus, different things are emotionally activated. And so we have to learn to love ourselves and to get our emotions in check and know I had a rough week this week. I have a vendor who was very emotionally abusive to me this week, and I was raised Catholic, so I felt very guilty. I felt very shameful, and I thought I'm a nice person. This is not about me. This is about him, and
mm-hmm,
I had to release that. I had to know this isn't for me. This is for him, And then last night, my boyfriend's neighbor's 22-year-old son hung himself and committed suicide. So today was very hard. And these kids, they don't realize that, life's not that bad. And you can overcome, you can get through some difficult challenges. Um, but you have to really learn how to love yourself and not take on other people's energy.
Yes, this is the most important thing, I think, because if we love ourselves, we can come out from every challenges. Uh, and if we love ourselves, we really start to love ourselves. We will focusing on ourselves, and we will do things what is important for us and for our body, and we will feel much better if we really understand this.
You had mentioned something in a podcast about like housewives and how they don't honor themselves. They are always worried about what everybody else needs in the household. And I know somebody like that, and this person feels very ugly. This person feels very low self-esteem. And so I
Hmm.
sent her flowers. I sent her flowers for her birthday for her to feel pretty and for her to feel worthy and for her to feel um, how she can love herself. And so you were exactly right. And when people give too much, there's no balance. We have to give and receive. We have to have balance. And you shouldn't
Yes,
feel selfish when you're doing your self-care. And we have to take care of ourselves or we can't take care of anyone. We have to love so that we can receive love. So we give ourselves love. That's the most important relationship with in our human experiences with us. It's with ourselves. And if we learn
yes.
to love ourselves, then we can receive love from others and it makes life a little bit easier.
Yes, and if somebody live in family and giving everything, they need to have self time, 1 hour daily at least, just to do what they like, just do something for themselves and to recharge, and then they can go forward. We need it
Yeah.
really to
Yeah.
feel
I mean,
better
in
and
her
to feel
situation, it's
more feminine, or we need self-care and just to take a bath, or just to read or anything what we like. I think we need it, every woman.
100%. And with this woman's situation, it's her husband is like, hey, 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 do this, do that, make me this, do this for me, do this, get this, do that. And then she's got a son who's like, mama, mama, mom, mama, mama, mama. And she
Yes.
doesn't know how to separate herself from what she calls her boys. She says she has two boys. And so she doesn't know how to separate herself. And I don't know what advice to give her because for me, I just got divorced, said goodbye, boy.
Yeah. I have two daughters. They are growing up. They are adults. But when I started to go to pole fitness classes, it was on Friday always, and they wanted to make some program on. Would you come to me or something? No, it's Friday. I'm going to my pole fitness class. Oh, okay, okay. Next time, okay. I said no. Friday is my time. Before or after we can, but this is my time. I won't give it to anyone. They had to
Well,
understand
you
that.
know what? That's very I'm very proud of you because I still have trouble saying no. And people say no is a complete sentence. And I over explain. I say no because or no, I have to do this and maybe and I wish that I will learn faster to say no. And that's it. Just no. I'm still
Yes,
working on
sometimes
that one.
we have to. I'm a kind person, but sometimes I really I have few things that I want. I'm doing this at this time, and I say no for everything else. This is my time. It's taboo. It's
That's That's beautiful. That's what we should do. That's what we need to be doing, is just to be able to say no. And it's a complete sentence.
yes. Um, do you want to share something about your life? Some interesting or funny story?
Oh, wow. Um, well, I played softball for 30 years and I really enjoyed that. And I feel like that really helped me to learn about teamwork and how to be within a team and to work together. So 30 years of my life playing softball was really, really cool. I guess if we didn't already talk about Elvis, I would have talked about that situation. I have done a skydive, skydive, jump out of a plane.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I have done that, which was
Ooh,
very funny. Yes, never do it
it's very
again.
brave.
But the funny story is it was a tandem jump. So you have a dive master like basically strapped to your back, and then he's got
Mm-hmm.
the
Mm-hmm.
parachute on, or she. And he says to me, okay, he's yelling, get out on the wing. And I'm thinking, you want me to step out of this plane and get on the wing, and it's 110 miles an hour at 10,000 feet above the ground. No. And so I stepped out on the wing, and he was a little bit shorter than me. And I heard him yelling, crouch down, crouch down. And I looked down, I had lifted him off his feet. The adrenaline I was so scared and so nervous. I just lifted this grown man off of his feet, and I scratched down. He said, now we're going to do a backflip off of the wing. I said, say what? And so it was it was a beautiful experience, because once he pulled the parachute, the quietness up 10,000 feet. Well, we probably were at 7,500 feet at this point. It was so beautiful. It was the most beautiful silence I have ever heard. And he whispered in my ear, now we know why the birds sing.
Mm.
And I will never do it again because it was scary as anything, but it was a beautiful experience. So I'll share that.
Mm. Is there something if you could go back in time uh, and you could advise something to yourself, what it would be?
Ooh, I think it would be to learn how to forgive myself and love myself more quickly. I wish that I would have learned how to love myself earlier in life, because I made a lot of very bad choices with men in relationships because I didn't love myself. So very, you know, promiscuous because I didn't love myself. I didn't have any self-esteem. So I think if I would go back, I would like to love myself sooner in life.
Mhm. Nice. And what is your message to my listener for women over 40, 50?
I think I would say that the best years are to come, that we go from the moon energy of our cycles and our periods to the sun cycle of happiness and joy and love. And as we gain this wisdom, I would say to your audience that there is nothing you can't do. There's nothing you can't accomplish if you set your mind to it and focus.
Yes, it's nice. Yes, and I will add that we can be a beginner in anything, and we can learn new things, and we can have new goals and achieving it. Yeah.
I agree. I agree.
Thank you so much. It was a nice conversation, I think. It was
Surprise!
so spontaneous, but that's so good.
Right? Oh my gosh, you're lovely. I love what you're doing. Thank you for all you're doing because I think it's so important your message to support women in menopause who might think, oh, I have a little belly, or oh, my butt is big, or oh, I can't sleep, or oh, I have hot flashes. But we need to be grateful. We're not losing all that blood anymore. So we're retaining a lot of wisdom. And so what you're doing in your message is just wonderful. And so thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to feel everyone to feel good in their bodies over 40, 50, 60, because we can. It's more a mindset and self-love and yes, movements and diet, but it's everything together, and it's the result is awesome if we really want it and we really believe that we can live in this way. Yeah. Okay. Thanks so much again. And I'm happy you were here. Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.